Good afternoon again. I was woke up and I got a few messages on Facebook in reference to the video that I made about the upload video, and I had some pushback, of course, but the pushback is legitimate, and the pushback is respected because the pushback was respectable. And I wrote. They sent me some questions that I'm going to share with everybody, but I promised everyone that I wasn't going to display their name. I wasn't going to mention their name because I respect people's privacy. But these questions are very interesting, and I think these questions are very fair. Okay, so we're going to go down the list of questions. This was from a young lady, and mind you, all of these questions are from people who reside in Atlanta, Georgia, Savannah, Georgia, and Lithonia, Georgia, which is now considered I forgot what they call it now, but I forget what they call it now, but I'm just gonna go with Lithonia, Georgia, and a couple of these people know the woman that I was dealing with. But what I like about these questions is that these questions are very fair. These questions are very fair. So I'm just gonna go down the list. This was from a woman from Atlanta. She says, "What did you mean when you said that you was intending to live an isolated life?" Okay, what I meant by that was that when I dedicate myself to someone, as I said before, I didn't just wake up one day and said that, hey, I think I'm just gonna move to Atlanta, Georgia. I had no interest in Atlanta at all. But what I did have an interest in was settling my life down, like I mentioned in the previous video. And to my understanding, when you're settling your life down, talking about settling down with someone, getting married and all of that, where all of that is going to take place, to me, to my understanding, wasn't important. So due to the fact that I didn't have any interest in Atlanta, Georgia, or the South for that matter, I was just going to move there, focus on her, focus on the marriage, focus on the business that I was going to help her run. And that was going to be it with me. I was just going to isolate myself around marriage and business and internal growth. That was it. I wasn't going to involve myself with the common activities that were told to me that goes down in Georgia. I wasn't going to, of course I intended on going to a lot of the events downtown that they were having, with people putting their businesses out there, and but I wasn't going to be all in the streets getting myself involved in a whole lot of stuff that goes on in Atlanta. And tell you the truth, one of the reasons why I'm 58 years old right now and don't have a police record is because I've always been a bit introverted like that, even when I was coming up in Chicago, on the south side of Chicago. So what I meant by that, I was just going to isolate my attention, and my focus was just going to be strictly on her, the business, writing, of course, and just That was it. So that's what I meant by that. This is from the same young lady from Atlanta. She said, would you be willing to resolve your differences with Salam? To be totally honest with you, and it's not that I wasn't honest before, I had sent Salam a email. I believe this was a couple of months ago, as a matter of fact, and I was just letting her know that I was doing well, and all of the stuff that we went through, whether it was misunderstood or whatever the case may be, that I was willing to establish a friendship with her and just keep that going. You know, of course, we wasn't compatible for a whole lot of different reasons, but I sent her an email and I never got one back. You know, so I let it go. But you know, the rigidness that was that I was feeling was just rooted in my hurt and disappointment. And I tell a lot of people that sometimes what's dangerous about hurt is that there's a deceptive intelligence that comes along with that hurt, and it transmits to your mind a reasoning for remaining in that state of mind. And when you choose to remain in that state of mind, there's a comfort zone. There's an internal seat, you might as well say, to where you sit there and you say, this is it, you know. But what you have to understand is that, are you at peace? Are you at peace? You know, and if you're not at peace, then it means that you're going against your internal nature. And obviously your internal nature is telling you that I'm peace, but where you are sitting right now and what you're holding on to is not who and what you are. So once you allow yourself to heal from the past intellectually by way of assistance of what's going on in the heart, you wake up one day and you recognize there's love there. And so, and this love that I'm talking about is your natural instinct of love and compassion. And when you embrace that, what happens is you observe the past within, and you look at the hurt, and you understand that that deceptive intelligence that's convincing you to remain seated in that comfort zone to where you think you're comfortable, but you're really not. You're really not comfortable, because that's just not who you are. And so once you allow yourself to heal, and you take the time and you observe yourself, you go inside, you go into meditation, you observe yourself and you see it for what it is. And if there's not peace there, then it only means that the only reason why you're able to recognize that you're not at peace is because your internal nature is rooted in peace. And so if you love yourself, and if you love humanity, and if you really are interested in moving forward, even if it means no longer holding any grudges against anyone who hurt you, who disappointed you, or however you perceive it, then you will no longer accept that deceptive, demonic intelligence that comes along with you helping yourself, well, not helping yourself, but helping you assist yourself in staying in that state of mind that is not giving you peace. It's not giving you peace at all. But once you reject that and you go back to embracing your internal self as far as what you are, and letting go of who you were in terms of you being hurt and disappointed, then from that point, you find yourself sending emails to the person who hurt you, the person who humiliated you, and the person who mocked you and talked bad about you and all of that. All of a sudden, those things don't even matter anymore. They really don't matter. The only thing that matters is peace of mind. Peace of mind is all that matters, because regardless of what you try to accomplish in life, no matter how much money you accumulate in life, no matter how much property you accumulate in life, if you don't have peace of mind, none of that means anything. It means absolutely nothing. So I sent her an email, and like I say, I didn't get a response back. So after that, there's really nothing else you can do. Do I wish her well? Yeah, I wish her well. Now you can say, well, but you said that she's gonna suffer. Well, I mean, everything we put in the universe, if it's wrong, you get wrong in return. I mean, that happens to all of us. So yep. I tried to resolve our differences, but I didn't get a response, so that's fine. Doesn't matter. Okay, this is coming from a young lady not far from where we were, in Lithonia, Georgia. She says, did you have a sex addiction? Why did you have a sex addiction? She's referring to when I was out here previously, and when I was driving the bus out here. I would say yes. I would say, yeah, I had a sex addiction, because I have a strong attraction to Black women. I have a very strong physical attraction to Black women. To me, Black women are just to me, Black women are gorgeous. Gorgeous. I'm a bit obsessed with Black women. So, but what caused it was I was going through a whole lot with my son's mother, and she had kept my son from me for 3 years for absolutely nothing. And I'm being truthful with you, for absolutely nothing. And so I didn't know where they was living. I didn't know how they was doing. When her friends would get on the bus, nobody would give me any type of information, because these are the same people who was jealous of her anyway. So I was dealing with a lot of hurt, and so I started sleeping around a whole lot. So my strong attraction to Black women, it tapped into my hurt with not seeing my sons. And so in the process, regardless of, like I was telling you the other previously, a lot of the Black women that I was dating back at the time, they said that I didn't do any damage to them. They did what they wanted to do and all of that. But sometimes a lot of damage that you're going through, a lot of times you don't even recognize it until as you move forward and you find yourself dealing with new situations that are rooted in you losing your self-respect previously in previous situations. So I would say that I had a sex Addiction. What's wrong, man? Come, I can't say that word right. But yeah, I would say that. I would say that. And do I have it now? No, no, because I'm not hurting anymore. So some people, a lot of us fall into the categories of different categories of addiction when we're dealing with a whole lot of internal pain. A lot of us deal with that. Some people drink, some people do drugs, some people do other things. Me, I was sleeping around with a whole bunch of women. And a lot of people was thinking, well, I wouldn't really consider that an addiction because you was enjoying yourself. I mean, of course I was enjoying myself. I mean, it was, I'm very, very strongly attracted to black women. And of course I was enjoying myself, but sometimes you can cause a lot of self-destruction and destruction while you are enjoying yourself. I mean, that's no different than a person who says that I'm taking this drug and I'm enjoying myself, but at the same time you're destroying yourself. So that goes for pretty much any addiction. Okay. The next question is from a young man in the Atlanta area. He said, "What did you mean about love and hate being chains to lean on?" Okay, we're talking about being dependent on someone else's feelings for you. So I'll go through it. I'll go through it again. When someone says, "I love you," how does that make you feel on the inside? When a woman says, "I love you," that makes most people like, "Oh wow, that's cool. She really loves me." So it's like you lean on how she feels about you the same way a man or a woman leans upon a cane to keep them upright. But what you do is you give away sometimes a whole lot of your power, your authority, your self-respect, and your strength by leaning upon how someone feels about you. But see, that could change at any moment. That could change at any moment. And so when that changes, how people say, "I fell in love, I fall in love," stuff like that, So it's just not good to be dependent on how other people feel about you. And so this is the reason why I say, if you love me, I don't care. If you hate me, I'm not going to lean on that cane either. I'm not going to be depressed because, oh man, she hates my guts. Oh man, I hate, that. I've been through that, and I only speak on things that I've been through, and I meditate a whole lot, and I see how things affect me on the inside. And so to me, I don't deal with love anymore, and I don't deal with hate. If I happen to come across a potential mate, as long as she respects me, that's enough. That's enough for David. Because if you respect me, then it means you care. And if you care about me, then there's a great potential that you're going to eventually end up loving me. But, just respect me. Just respect me. That's all I ask. Because when it all boils down to it, the root of every relationship or union or whatever you want to call it, if it's not rooted in respect, no one's going to care about you. And if they don't care about you, they're definitely not going to love you. So that's what I meant by that. Next question comes from another young man and his wife. as a matter of fact. It says, was there anything good that you enjoyed in Georgia? Oh yeah. Yeah. As a matter of fact, when I first got there, Salam had took me to Stone Mountain, and I enjoyed Stone Mountain. I think Stone Mountain was beautiful. And I will never forget the walk that we had to take going to Stone Mountain, because we had the park. I think it was like 2 or 3 blocks from Stone Mountain. And I will never forget the beautiful southern homes, out there. And, being out here in Las Vegas for like 32 years straight before I ventured to Georgia. See, Las Vegas is the desert. It's the desert. So when I went to Georgia, all of the greenery, and the older homes, because I'm into a lot of authentic things, it was beautiful to me. I thought Stone Mountain was beautiful, and I'm gonna always be grateful to her for taking me to experience Stone Mountain. It was beautiful. And not only that, one of I believe that I mentioned it in the video, the last video. No, the second to last video. One of the main things that I enjoyed about Georgia was going down to the Martin Luther King Center, but primarily sitting in the church where he gave speeches. It was life-changing, because before I went there, I was very much estranged from both of my parents. And when I went there and I sat in his church, and I talked to a couple of elders first, because I love the elders. Love the elders. I sat there and I was hearing one of his speeches, and what the speech was talking about had a whole lot to do with what was going on in my life at the time, and in reference to my writing coming out. I can't go into details about that, but when I was down there, I know this is going to sound strange, but I don't really care. You asked me the question, I'm going to answer you. But there was a spiritual presence down there, that helped me understand the power of forgiveness and letting go, because I was at the lowest point of my life. I was deeply hurt because of what happened, and at that point I really broke down there in Dr. King's church, and I was sitting in the 7th row from the podium, and to me, I was at the lowest state of hurt and humiliation. And at that point, I didn't really know what to do next, So, like I said, I can't go into details, but I will say that a spiritual force hit me and touched me at that moment and told me that I was responsible for everything. From this day forward, you are responsible for everything. Everything that happens in your life, you're responsible for it. So it was talking about being able to respond adequately to every challenge. So after that happened to me, and I rejected the you might as well say, like I said before, the intellectual deception that was rooted in defiance, anger, hatred towards my parents because of the past and all of that. When that tried to creep in, I rejected it. And when I rejected it, that's when everything broke. And when I left out of there, out of Dr. King's church, the first thing in my mind was, I have to call my mother. I have to call my mother. And all of a sudden, this big love for my mother came back. And so the first thing that I did, I got on the phone and I told her, no, I didn't have her number. I wrote her a message on Facebook, and I told my mother how much I love her and how much I miss her, and we need to talk. I even tried to reconcile my differences with my father, but he's a narcissist. And you know just as well as I know that most narcissists are people who are irredeemable. And so if you're wise, after you put forth an effort to try to resolve your differences with a narcissist, and if you notice that they are irredeemable, don't hurt yourself and keep trying to force a reconciliation with them, because it's never going to happen. I mean, it's like sticking your hand into a fire and you's like, when are you going to stop burning me? When are you going to stop burning me? No, when are you going to stop burning yourself? You need to let go and just move forward. So, next question comes from the same couple. Did you have any friends outside of Salam? Yeah. I had the people who I worked with. Mostly were younger people, so I embraced them as my friends. Now, I would have to say this: there was an older guy. His name was Steven, and he was a security guard, and he was the one who was in charge of the tours that they had when you are able to go up in Martin Luther King's home. So when I went down there and went on the tour, after the tour was over, I loved this man's spirit so much. You know, his name is Steven. I won't say his last name because I don't know. But he's 81 years old, and he's an older black gentleman. And so after the tour was over, I was so impressed with his demeanor, you know, and his spirit of showing everybody the home. I like shaking people's hands like that, so I went up and I shook his hands, and we talked, and he told me that he was friends with Coretta, and he lived across the street from the King's family, but he lived across the street, but 2 homes down, further down. And so me and him developed a strong friendship. And so whenever I was going through some things, he would always offer his ear. You know, he would tell me, you know, I would go to his home and I would sit up and talk with him for hours. So yeah, he was a nice man, and he's still living in Georgia. And this next question is in reference to that. So would you ever visit Georgia? This is the same couple, as a matter of fact. Would you ever visit Georgia? Yes. Yeah. Because I think it's only fair that I do that, because before, despite how beautiful Georgia was, I have to admit that I don't really think that I have a chance to really enjoy Georgia. So I have to go back on what I said in the previous video when I said I didn't like Georgia. No, I have to say that I was wrong about that, and I'm one of the first people who will admit that I'm wrong. Hey, I'm wrong. I'm wrong. You know, it's not that I didn't like Georgia. I didn't like the way that I was treated with the people who I came in contact with. So for all of those who felt offended when I said that I didn't like Georgia, you have my deepest apologies, because I was dead wrong. I was dead wrong. And I'm not going to take the video down. I'm going to leave the video up with me being wrong. Okay, because that's all about, it's all about growth. So yes, I would visit Georgia, and I plan on visit Georgia in my healed state. In my healed state. That way I can take in the beauty of Georgia, the beauty of the people, the beauty of the culture, you know, and I would be in a much better position to enjoy Atlanta, Georgia, or Lithonia, Georgia, or whatever other part of Georgia. I think I already covered this, but I'm going to be fair. They said, I think that it is not a fair assessment to say that about Georgia because of what you suffered through. You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. I totally agree with you. Totally agree with you. Totally agree. I was being unfair. Totally agree with you. And I think I already covered this. Meeting Stephen during the King Hall. Yeah, I already covered that. But with all of this being said, if I offended someone, it was not my intention. It was not my intention. I was just talking about the backlash that I got from re-uploading the video. But I will be visiting Georgia in the future. And as a matter of fact, I was interested in purchasing some property down there on the street called Peachtree, and also in the College Park area that I love so much, because I was working for a moving company out there in the College Park area, and I love the College Park area. Oh man, the College Park area is just beautiful. And due to the fact that I'm getting ready to start doing very well in the market, I'm going to be accumulating a lot of wealth in the stock market, along with my my writing. That books are going to be going out. Plus, there's a project that I'm going to be doing with a comedian, a well-known comedian out here. He wants me to assist in him writing his autobiography, and I can't mention his name right now, but he's a well-known comedian, and he lives out here. So that's going to be beneficial to me as well. But I thank you for your questions, and like I say, your questions were very fair, and I have to say that's about it. I have to say that's about it. And so, like I say, if I offended someone, it was not my intention, and I will be reconciling myself with the land, because I have a strong Indian heritage. You know how people say, well, all black people say they have Indian. Yeah, but my Indian heritage is very close. This is the reason why my last name is Brayboy. It's Brayboy. I have a strong Indian heritage, and so whenever we go through something, like the Trail of Tears or on Wounded Knee, instead of continuing to bleed internally due to the fact that something happened on a particular area of the earth, it is always most healthy internally to go back to the same area and make peace with what happened, due to the fact that you can't change it. You have to make peace with the fact that it happened. It wasn't good, but due to the fact that we can't change the fact that it was good, we can't allow the effects of what happened rule our present. because when we allow that to happen, then we betray our own present. So this is why I'm saying I will be visiting Georgia again in my healed state, so that I can reconcile my self with the state of Georgia, with the people and everything like that. And plus, there's a whole lot of people that I work with that I would love again, love to see them again, and I want some hugs. You know what I'm saying? So, with all of that being said, like I said, I appreciate the questions, and you are absolutely right. You're absolutely right. So, with that being said, I have to get out of here because I have to start getting ready for work. And I appreciate everything. Stay human. Peace.